Used to that by now. Alrighty, so hi everybody and welcome to Powerful and Easy Presentations with Sway. So I'm Dr. Julene Reed and I am in Memphis, Tennessee, where it's hotter than heck here right now. It's super hot and humid on top of the heat. So I'll be very happy when it cools down a little bit. And I've been in education over 25 years, all levels from elementary to middle school, high school. And I've led a one-to-one program for 20 years where they had one laptop for every student and worked in the classrooms, worked as director of academic technology, science coordinator, all different kinds of things. But my last 17 years were director of academic technology. And so I have done a lot with Microsoft, Google, Apple, all of them, but I love some of the tools that Microsoft has. I'm super excited to be here with Microsoft and Q to help provide these free seminars for everyone. And they're getting more and more popular now as people are getting closer and closer to school beginning because everyone's kind of in a different place with what's going to happen. And they're all starting to find ways to integrate technology and get ready for distance learning, whether they're going to be in person or they're going to be virtual or blended or whatever model you're picking. And a lot of us don't even know yet because everything's changing so quickly with coronavirus. So I know this has been exhausting through this whole ordeal. I know you're tired and hopefully you've had some rest if it's summertime for you where you are. And you'll be ready to go again. And the good thing about these tools is it doesn't matter if you're teaching distance, remote learning, or if you're in the classroom doing blended or just integrating technology. These are great tools for any situation with education. And so I'm glad to be able to share Sway with you today. And I love Sway. And we'll talk about Sway and what it is and how to use it. And so we'll be doing a lot with that. And it is Sway cool. It helps with student voice. And I don't know why this slide keeps jumping on me. Student voice and student agency are so important for our kids, giving them the ability to feel like they're creating something and to have choice in what they do, whether they're demonstrating understanding with a presentation or they're creating a slideshow of some kind or a video of some kind, but giving them options aside from the regular homework and writing a paper and taking a test. And this is what Sway is for, and it's so super easy. It makes you look like you're a really professional designer, and yet it's really easy, and that's what's intentional. And it's intentional because it allows students to focus on the content. And they're going to have a really media-rich project, but they're not going to have to spend a lot of time on it. Now, if you're a graphic editor and instructional designer or do a lot of video work, you'll probably say, I wish I could do this, and I wish I could do that. And there are some limits. There's a lot you could do with it. So if you're deep into that kind of thing, just know at the front end, there's some limits, but it's intentional. It's intentional, so it's quick and easy, and just it's a beautiful job of creating all kinds of presentations. And so what we're going to do during our hour together, we're going to just talk about, student voice and digital storytelling a little bit, have an intro to Sway. I'm going to talk to you about what it is, give you some introduction, and then we're going to go live and you're going to go online and be able to work in Sway for a little bit and play in Sway. So we're going to take a look at it. We'll create a Sway really quickly. You won't have a finished project, so don't think that it's going to be something you walk away with necessarily, but it's something you could start. Something you start, and there's lots of ways you could use it. And then we'll talk about, have more ideas for how you can integrate it and implement it and resources, and have some time for questions at the end. So you'll learn how to use Sway and Stream. And if you haven't used Stream before, I'll explain what that is so you know what to do with Stream. And it allows students to create and share professionally designed work. So Stream is kind of, think of YouTube for Microsoft. It's where you can put a lot of videos and things. And so there's ways you can create videos and embed them in Sway. And if they don't have the ability to put them, if the students create a video and they don't have the ability to put them in YouTube, they put it in Stream, which is an actually awesome option anyway. And then they can directly embed a video within the Sway that they're doing. So that's kind of a short description of what Stream is. So thinking about, we do this a lot. I didn't tell you that I also teach a graduate course and have been doing different courses all the time with the Digital Learning and Leading program at Lamar University. And one of the things we talk a lot about is the COVA, C-O-V-A model, and that's choice, ownership, voice, and authenticity. And I've already said that choice is so important, letting them have ownership of their learning and have a voice in how they share their understanding of content and making it authentic. And that's what this gives us. And so this slide kind of explains that to you. So you'll know, you'll have all these slides when we're done. I've already uploaded, and I'll give you the link to the PDFs. So you'll have these then, so you don't need to be jotting down notes or anything. They'll all be yours. And so lots of ways you can use it besides, choice, ownership, voice, and authenticity, giving them that student agency and giving them options to personalize their learning and individualize instruction and give opportunities to demonstrate understanding to students that maybe don't perform in the box, and maybe they'll just shine this way. And so they can always use this for digital storytelling. You can almost make it like a book if you want to, but you can make it a digital story about anything you want to. And it can be curricular related, it could be personal, whatever you want to do. So it's a great tool for lots of things. And I have known some teachers keep a lot of their lessons in this way. They just embed everything for a topic in this way. So lots of ways to use it, easy to learn and get beautiful results I've talked about, and very engaging. So they'll love what they do with Sway, and even very young children can use Sway. So we've talked about Stream, and that's like Microsoft's YouTube video channel where you can upload videos and access them to embed in works. And that's good if you don't have access on your campus to YouTube. You may have access to Stream because it's like, well, my kids made a video, but I don't know where they can put it to embed it. And that's what it is, it's Stream. Stream is also great for screen recording if you haven't tried that. And then Sway is this, media-rich kind of presentation digital tool that you can use. It's an Office app. It's under your application launcher, the grid or the waffle where you launch them. You can also just go to sway.com and you can put all kinds of media. We're going to look at what all you can put in it. You can use your browser on your phone to do it as well. They used to have an app, and I think they've no longer had the app, but you can do it right in your browser on a phone. So if kids have phones and they're taking videos, they can embed them right there in a Sway. So all you need is a browser to view, and you have this beautiful thing that pops out, and it's free with your Office 365 license. So here's all the media you can use. So even think about ESL students, think about foreign language, being able to record in different languages. They can easily have pictures, video, audio files, text, tweets. If you want to embed tweets, probably not with your students, but some of you are using Twitter in an educational way. Office form, you can embed a form in there if you're doing a survey or something. Other documents too, a Word document, a PowerPoint, all can be embedded, and you can put a Sway inside of Sway. Who figured? So lots of experiences that you can put in here, and the little graphics kind of show you all the different things that you can do. You can start with a blank slate. You can also start by taking a Word, a PowerPoint, or a PDF and opening that file, and it will already make a Sway with suggestions. It'll start giving you suggestions and create your first Sway off that document. So lots of ways to do it. You can start with a topic, and so we're going to look at those. And so we're going to go to Sway in a minute, but actually I'm going to take you straight to Sway in my window, because on this, and when you get this presentation, you'll also have this, the link to the Sway that I'm using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize my Teams windows so that I can show you my Sway. And I'm going to actually, as soon as I did that, I realized I have to change hue. I'm going to present my full desktop. So you're going to see a lot of messy stuff now, but that's okay. And now I'm going to share again with my screen, and then that'll go away. Alrighty, so here's Sway. This is the Sway. So I'm using a Sway to teach you about Sway, because I think the best thing for you to do, let me refresh it to sleep, I guess. The best thing to do is kind of see how it's used, and it can be used vertically. It can be done horizontally. So this one I believe is vertical, but you can also do horizontal. So you can put background images, pictures like this with text titles on top. I can put in all kinds of cool little stacked images or stacked words. And when I click on them, they flip through. That's really nice too. I can embed a video. I'm not going to play this now, but it's a video about Sway. So when you get the links, you can also do that. You can also enlarge it with this little, the arrows pointing outward in that square. So if you want to see it full screen, you can just put text in here. So it's a cool digital storytelling app from Office. It's interactive materials, all those things. And then here are some other things you can do too. So you can have a slideshow of images. So if I click here, it's going to be a slideshow of images. So think even about in the old days when you go on a field trip, remember those days? You can have a slideshow of images, but students can create their own sways around a topic and present it to their college and to their fellow students, to their peers. So you could have a group sway and they're presenting it to their peers too. So lots of images that you can do that way. We saw the stacked, and then we've seen this. The other thing we have is this side by side, which is really cool. So here is that. Here is this. And you can do like a before and after, like sometimes you'll see it where you'll have a city in the 1800s and then what that same block looks like today. Just lots of ways to use that side-by-side tool. Here again, you can use 3D imaging, like 3D modeling, and you can put it in your sway so I can move it around. So I have that option as well. And I have an interactive map if I want to. I could just go on and use my interactive map here. Additionally, I can put an audio file in, like a sound clip right here. I can put it in. So that's an option as well. And here's a Twitter feed. So if I am doing something with Twitter, I can embed my Twitter feed. It's just going to keep refreshing that way too. And here is a Word document put inside of the Sway. So this is a paper someone's written or a publication they've created in Word. Looks really nice, and they put it in their Sway. Here's a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet. Here's a PowerPoint where I can just click through the PowerPoint. I can look at the spreadsheet. All these things can be embedded and they can be popped out and enlarged too. This is a lot in this one because it's a demonstration. You wouldn't necessarily have all this in yours. And then here's what it would look like to put a Microsoft form in here where they would just answer questions like, the rise and fall of tides on Earth is caused by the moon. True. What is the approximate diameter of the sun? I'm not going to guess that one. You guys can go ahead. And then how does Sway make it? So it has this built-in engine that gives you this really professional design really fast, and you don't have to do a lot to make it happen. And like I said, you'll see it and you'll go, oh, I'd like to tweak this, or I'd like to tweak that in some ways. And sometimes you just can't because it has lots of options to really do a lot of things, but it's not a full website creation program. It's not a full graphic design program, but what it is awesome. I want you to see that, and it has the adaptive layout that no matter what device you're using, whether it's on a tablet, whether it's on a computer or a phone, it's going to adapt to that, so it's easy to see. And like I told you, it can be vertical or horizontal, and I've seen them horizontally where it's like you write a book, you write a story. So you can write it like a digital ebook, which is really cool too. And so thinking about how to use it for student voice, and these are some actual ones that you can look at when you come back to this later. These are some that some students have delivered, and when you want to look at these, because I'd rather take my time to right now with you to teach you how to do this so you can see it because you'll have access to this afterwards. But here is one in our portfolio was done with Sway. And to really see the art portfolio, you would click right here. Let's see if I can get this a little bigger for you so you can see it. There we go. So it went bigger for a minute and then came back. And now it's gone. So hold on, let me go back. I give up. I thought I'd get it bigger for you, and instead I made it worse. So let me go down here. I popped it out completely. So it's right down here. We'll be right back. It's coming. I think it's next. Okay. I think it did get bigger. It just did a little jump at the same time. So thinking about class presentations, group projects where they can collaborate, research projects, portfolios, and resumes. Here's the link that would take you to Erin's art portfolio, an 8th grade student from Renton Prep near Seattle. Collected her art there. And then here's a 2nd grader from 2 different schools in Canada. We have a Canadian person with us today. And so you could look at the CAL project that they did collaboratively there. Here's one that they did with Newton's law of motion in sports. So they've created one here with student examples, and you can look at that. That's from Philadelphia. And then here's another one, just kind of says, here's what teachers say about Sway. Students are engaged, they focus on the story, not the tool, more time for learning, strengthens self-esteem, and they're so easy to share. And they are easy because you don't have to log in to view it. So if your students make a Sway, they can publish it, and grandparents or friends can just get that link and view it. It can be private or public. You get to set that setting, so you have that opportunity to do that. And so this is just what the students say there. So pretty much that's the Sway I want to show you to learn Sway. I'm going to leave that site. And I'm going to go back to my presentation for just a second, but actually I think we're about ready to go live, because I think maybe my next thing is to take you live. Oh, just a second, I had a couple more slides, I remember. So when we go to Sway, and like I said, you can get there through the app launcher, or you can get there from sway.com. So either this checkerboard grid in the top left, wherever you are, or from sway.com. You can look at the ones that you have, like here are my Sways I've edited, here's Sways I've viewed, here's the ones I've deleted. But the three things you'll see at the top are, I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to start from a topic. So what's cool, I can just put a topic in there, and they'll be finding some pictures that might work and suggesting images. It will find kind of some different things about that topic that could be subtopics of content in your Sway, and you can use them or not use them. You can delete them, leave them, edit them, however you want. It's just giving you a head start. Or you can take, like I said, a Word doc, PowerPoint, a regular document, and start from that document, and it will create one for you. So it can do those suggestions online, where if you say, I want to start with a topic, you would just put a topic in here. So this one is Paris. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me a suggested Sway right now. So it's already popped in with all these ideas from Paris. And all I did was copy on a topic. And then once I typed in the topic, it created the outline and went on and made the Sway for me. I don't have to use it, but it's a head start if I want to do something quickly. So that's called the Quick Starter. There's a lot of templates you can use as well. So you can look through the templates. There's one for a presentation, one for a resume, one for a newsletter. And this would be a great newsletter for your students and your families while you're, especially if you're doing distance learning, have a newsletter of what's going on and what our kids did in class this week, or in our synchronous or asynchronous sessions this week. But anytime, it's a great newsletter for any age level. And it's so easy to pop those photos and things in and make it media rich for families. And so that's the fact that you have templates, and then you can share it, like I said, easily, no sign in, no other software. It's just like a website. You just go to the link and it's right there. And it'll tell you how many views you're getting. So it'll give you a little bit of analytics to go with that as well. And then I also shared with you that it's great on phones. So you can see it on a device as well as just in, on the web, on a computer. You can see it on a device, a mobile device. And then this is the way schools are using it: collaborating on group projects, having dynamic presentations, research projects. We've talked about a lot of these already. But if you look at the teachers, they're putting their materials here. It'd be a great welcome back, to have a Sway they could look at. It's great for project-based learning, communication. We talked about memory books, almost like your own little class yearbook. And then sharing best practices for professional learning as well. So what we're going to do next, and I'm going to show you on my screen the best way to navigate this if you haven't done a live one where we're off working and also going to be watching what I'm doing. The best thing for you to do is take that presentation window and make it smaller if you don't have two monitors. You can take it and shrink it to just one side, however you want to do that. And then take your browser window and shrink it to a side as well. So now, this way I can have my Sway open. I can make whichever one I want to make bigger. And then I can also have the window that's showing me my instructions. And if you don't do that, I'm going to end up being a thumbnail or a postage stamp. So go on and do that and get a browser window open. Or if you want to go, like I said, if you go to your app launcher here, I'm actually going to pull this down because I'm not going to need that. I'm going to walk you through it. And I'm going to make this full size for me. so that you have a better view of it. And so now either go to sway.com or come up to your app launcher, and it's going to be here in Sway. Or if I just hovered over it, I would see it there too. But you just want to get to Sway, whatever the best way is for you to get to Sway then. So once you're in Sway, these are the bar with the three things I talked about. I see Jody's typing, so let's wait and see if we've had a problem before I go any farther. And Jody, you can open your mic too if it's easier. You all, there's not that many. Looks a little different than through Office 365. That's so funny that you say that. So that's Sway.com. Let's look at the difference. So let me go over here. It should be the same, which is interesting. Let's go look. So both of them are taking me to Sway. That was Sway.com, took me to Sway.office.com. And then this one, if I go through here, let's see what it looks like. It does look different. What do you know, Jody? Didn't used to do that. So you might want to go, I would suggest let's go to Sway.com today. Thank you, Jody. I'm always learning things too. So let's go and look at this screen. I forgot about this screen. So you can start a new blank Sway here. It's doing pretty much the same thing. It just doesn't have that pretty interface. So you have a new blank screen. You can start from a document. Here are your templates. And if you click here, there are more templates. So basically it has the same access. It just looks different. And that's a good thing to know, Jody. Great job. And then here is Sway.com. Still, I have create new, start from a topic, start from a document, and my templates are going to be down here. So the same information is both places, it just looks different. And then on the Sway.com, here's some lessons you can look at to get ideas. I love looking at what other teachers do and borrowing their ideas. It's like looking at that bulletin board down the hall and going, wow, I like that one. Maybe I'll make something like that. Remember how we've done that for years? And so you can do this too. So for today, since we're I don't care which you start with, but I do want to show you how to start with a topic. So I'm going to start with a topic for a second. And I was going to put in summer, but I kind of like the idea of Paris a while ago. I think I'll put in Paris. So we're calling it an outline, but it's an outline of a Sway. And I want you to see what this looks like. And then I'm going to take you over to a new one and start from the very beginning, so that you'll understand what it looks like if you just do an original one. But I want you to see that if you put a topic in there, and this saves your kids time too. So if they're studying ecosystems or biomes or whatever they're studying, if they put that topic in here, now they already have some ideas. So here's etymology, history, geography, administration for Paris. That's interesting. Cityscape. And I'm surprised it didn't show me some images, because usually it might show you some images. Let me make sure I'm not too big. Let me hit Control-0 and get back now. So let me show you when I did summer earlier, what it gave me, because I actually did get some images with summer. Let's see if it gives me images today. I mean, now like it did earlier today. And create just a moment. They're going to create a Sway about the topic summer. Yeah, I'm not seeing any images there. That's, oh wait, they're coming in. They're just slow. There they come. I probably was too impatient before. So you're going to see some images coming in. I probably just was too fast with Paris. So they will come in. They're suggested. You don't have to use them. There's all kinds of ways you can access them. And the good thing about the images, they're Creative Commons. So you don't have to worry about copyright. They're all coming through Bing, and they're all judged as Creative Commons. So let's go on, though, for now. Anybody have any problems getting here before we start a new one, a new Sway? Whether you're here or you're back here and doing a new blank Sway, we're going to do a Sway right now. Any problems? Ready to go? I don't see anybody typing on here, buddy. So I'm going to do Create New. Ready to go. All righty. So this is how Sway works. Sway works with what we call cards. It's a little different. And so we have the ability to put a background image here. So if I click on background, go on and just click on background. Let's think about first, what's your Sway going to be about? Because if you want to start one you can use this year, feel free to do it. So I'm just going to, let's see what I could call mine today. I'm trying to think how creative I can be in the limited amount of time we have. I started getting to know you or something like that. But Maybe we'll just do, and you would think I would have had a topic before now, but let's think of something. Summer, let's just do, I'm going to do seasons. Since we keep talking about summer, I'm going to do seasons. And then I can pick, it's giving me some suggestions here. So I can click seasons here. I can look at backgrounds, nature. So it's already going to give you some things. I can also look from my OneDrive and upload things. I can use things in my device and upload them there. I can put a search up here in this window, this search bar, or I can just click on seasons and see what happens for suggestions. Ooh, I like this. This looks really cool. I like that. That's kind of artsy. Of course, this is going to be little, so I'm not sure, but let's just try it. We'll just try that one. And we're going to click add. Once you find a picture you like, just click add. Notice we had all content. That means images and video. We have images and we have videos here. So I'm just going to do images. I click the one I want, and I'm going to click add. And notice it says Creative Commons unless I uncheck that. So it's going to give me this little image here, and I can look at my details and see my details. Come on and click. It's not wanting to click right now. But I've given, this is my title card. Let me go on and close my image window with this X and see if it behaves then. Yeah, now it might be better. Might be because that window was open. So there's my details. So if you're doing alt text, if you work with, need to do alt text for accessibility, and what that is for images, if you have people with students with visual problems, you put alt text there. And what that does is this is a picture of trees at different times of year. It just gives a description of what the image is, gives a written description. And then you can also see, here's where they got the image. So I could actually see where it came from. I could add a logo if I wanted to, but that's pretty much my heading, my top card. So remember, it's a card. And within this, when I do this, I can also make a focus point. So what's important in my image so this way I can position it. So if there's something important here that I want to see, maybe this, maybe the entire image is important, it's going to help you with that. I'm not going to worry about that today because I like it all. I don't think I need to do anything. Before I go any farther, because we're going to start adding more cards and more assets and see what we can add, I wanted to show you design over here. So all we did, this is called the storyline view where we're building our story. I want to show you design. So this is what it can look like. And so that's kind of what it's looking now. I like that a lot. But over here where it says styles, I do have this option. So like I said, it's a little limiting in that you don't have full graphic artist website creativity ability. But look, I can make it vertical. I can make it horizontal. I can make it be slides. You know how I was scrolling before? If I don't want to scroll, I can have it be slides. So I don't want it to be slides, horizontal, vertical. I can customize certain things. So they've added some customization with custom colors and types and textures. And that's better than it used to be. It used to have nothing here. So now I have things here that I can do different fonts. So I have a lot more creativity than I used to have. So they've upgraded that because they hear you talking. They know what you want when you're wanting more features. Like Microsoft really listens. And then here's some of the designs too. So maybe I see something here I like, you know, and I can pick those. But those are just the styles. And I'm going to show you Remix in a little bit, but I'm going to close this for now and we'll talk about Remix. So that is my, that's my sway. That's kind of what it's going to look like. I'm going to go back to Storyline now. And now back here at the top left to be at Storyline, and we're going to click the plus. But notice here before we do, as soon as I said that, I realized I hadn't shown you this. Emphasize, you don't have a lot of options with your font. Emphasize means you make it bold. Emphasize has to be selected, make it bold. Accent, italic or no italics, and a hyperlink. That's pretty much it, other than those design features that I showed you earlier that were up in the top with a painter's palette on the top right. Those are also there. Now if I hit the plus here, this is where I can really start adding assets. So right now, I can add another heading, I can add text, I can add an image. Remember those image cards that were stacked where I could click and they kept flipping through? That would be a stack where I can upload several images and make a stack. And that's always fun. I love those. That's one of my favorites. I can upload from my device, but those are suggested. But now it also tells me here I can do, and let me see if I can get this bigger. I'm looking at my other monitor. Yeah, I think that's a little bit for you. There you go. Now you won't be blind. So those are the suggested ones under the plus. There's also text. So I can do heading or text, media. This is where I can put images, videos, audio, and embed code. So that Twitter feed, and get the embed code for that Twitter feed. And that's easy to do if you don't know how to do it. You just go, usually it's to share. If you're in a YouTube video, you go to share, it'll give you the embed code. A lot of different kinds of apps, it'll give you the embed code, and you just copy it and then go over to Sway and paste it in. Done. And I can upload, and then here are the groups. So here's that comparison. Remember that comparison where we split it back and forth? Here's our stack. Here's our slideshow. Here's a grid, automatic, all those different things. So what I want you to do, I'm going to play for a minute. And I just want you to maybe put a little bit of text, maybe some images, maybe play with stack or something. And let's just take like 5 or 6 minutes to play in this. And then we'll look at some more things with it. And go on and keep adding to it. So I'll talk while I'm doing mine, but you can completely tune me out now and just do your own. So right now what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to add a heading. And this is going to be summer. And I might find a summer background. Let's see if we see something for summer here. All righty, what do I want? I want the beach. That's where I want to be right now. So that's going to be add. So I'm putting my summer background there, my details. That's my heading card. So now if I close this, I can leave it up if I close it. Now I can put text. And I could write something like summer is the hottest part of the year, or the hottest season of the year in North America. And I could go on and write what I wanted to. So you notice I have more headings. I can emphasize again, accent. I can do bullet lists, numbers. I can hyperlink. And I can make it different sizes this way. So I have it little, I have it bigger. I can throw it away. You don't use the card selection yet. I'll show you that in a second. And that's pretty much all I want to say there. So now I'm going to put flowers of summer. I'm just making things up as I go. So let's do flowers of summer heading 2. Flowers of summer. And now I'm going to add some pictures. And I want it to be a stack. So I'm going to add some images in my stack. And I'm going to call this Summer Flowers. I'm going to do my search. Okay, which ones do I want? I want this one. That one. So I can pick several at once. That one, it's a pretty pink one, maybe just one more. Let's see what other one I want, a purple one. And then I add, and here come all my flowers. Now let me tell you what we just did. When I did a stack, it grouped them together. And so you can see my group is here. What you always will make sure of is that when you're done with this group stack, you come out of it, or everything's just going to keep grouping with it. So now that's done it. I've done 5 flowers, and I need to click down here to get out of my group. I just want to be below it. I'm going to stop for a minute, and I'm going to go play it. So at the top right, I can play it, which is like my preview. There's my seasons. Here's summer. Summer is the hottest season of the year in North America. Flowers of summer, and I've stacked them. So look how cool this looks already. And what have I spent? 3 minutes maybe? This is cool, isn't it, Wendy? Yeah, and think about it, you can do it for family too. You can do it for fun and play. Lots of times I think it's good just to play with the tool and do something really fun just to learn it. I keep looking at this one when you guys are this way, you have two monitors, and play with it and learn it. And then think, okay, now that I know this, how do I integrate it? How can my students use this? How could I do this as an introduction back to school? How could I have this for projects for my kids or something? And like I showed you, they had like second or third grade, I think, did that one on cows. So you have that one too. So now that I'm done with that, if I'm done with that, I would go back to edit. And if I'm done sharing, and now I can just keep going. So I'm gonna let you play just a little more. Just go on and keep playing. I'm gonna add a video this time. I'm gonna just do the most relaxing waves ever. We're just gonna add that in. And here, notice again, I have different sizes, so I can pick how big I want that video to go. Oh, cool. Jody made one about her community for Canada's 150th. Awesome, Jody. Okay, and then I'm going to add something different. So just kind of play around with the little ones you can do. You can just drag an audio file, or this is the other cool thing, I can record right here. If it wants to use my microphone, I'm going to allow it. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Sway. It's an awesome tool that you can use with your students or use professionally. Stop. I can play it. And now I can edit to Sway. And so I now have an audio file in there. So think about this for ways students could demonstrate understanding. They could talk about their topic. Think about how you could provide, instructions this way, audio instructions. And I'm going to show you a way to do it with video too. And then think also about, I'm just thinking outside the box here, foreign language, like I said, ESL students, all those kinds of things. So it takes a little bit to prepare it. Here it comes, and it's going to be embedded. Wait for it. Maybe we won't wait for it. So you're getting the idea, I hope, of how to do it. There it comes. So there's my audio. So if I play now, let's see what it looks like. There's my seasons. There's summer. Here's the flowers of summer we looked at. Here's my movie that I embedded with the most relaxing waves ever. And see, that's full screen. So if I didn't want it full screen, I need to go back and change that because it doesn't have to be full screen. Here's what my audio file would sound like. It would be right here. Just like a sound file going across there. And then I can keep going and going and going. So the other things you see edit up here at the top left, top right, sorry. This is my right hand. This is my left hand. Here's edit. Here's share. We're going to talk about that. Here is the gear. This lets you have some settings. So notice in the gear, you get to change the layout if you want to. You get to have animations on or off. You can have it autoplay and loop continuously. So lots of options there. Here's my sways. If I go to the 3 dots, create new, duplicate. Pay attention to this. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. I could save it as a template. I could print it. I'm not sure why I'd want to or how I would print with those images. I can export it, and my export options are PDF or Word, which still you're losing your media rich part of that. So to me, that doesn't, there's probably a reason to do that. It's just for a lot of us, we wouldn't. And then that's accessibility view. So you can see from accessibility and that's something Microsoft builds into almost everything. They really work hard to build the accessibility for everything. So you can use this little menu down here to go to different parts of your sway. It'll pop up like that, or you can go back home. So if your sway is really lengthy, that's a way to do that. Like for that e-portfolio of artwork, you could do that. I love it, Wendy, starting one of the highlights awards for children literature. I love that. That's awesome. And then let me show you the share before we go back to some other things. So in share, only people in the organization can access this sway. That's how it comes up there, and I would copy that link. or I can get a thumbnail and paste it in an email message. And so then I could copy that link as well. But you can make it, you have the options to make it public or private. I'm going to click this to go back. There we go. And so it doesn't have to be only people in my organization. You can make that as private or public as you want. So let me go back to edit for a second. I'm going to show you something here. So here we are back in here. We also have insert, and I think that's just one more way to do what we were doing. I'm trying to think what that was. Yeah, that's just some other things. Yeah. I think we've hit pretty much everything, but I want to show you something that's really cool here. So I'm going to go back over to design, and at design, I'm going to go back to that painter's palette for styles. Remember that? Because what can happen is like, yeah, I like this, but I think I've seen some that look better. So what you can do is you can remix it. Now, let me tell you a trick about remix. This is like so awesome. I'll just automatically give you a different style, a different style, a different style, a different style. Just keep doing it. However, if you find one you love, 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 but you just want to make sure there's not a better one, then what I would say is let's just duplicate this sway. We'll save a copy after your sways, and then you can rename it first if you want. I'm going to call it Seasons 1. So I'll duplicate it. That way I know I can always come back to it, because if I get so far down into my sway that I can't go back to, if I go back to my remixes too much, then I might be in trouble. So notice here now when I go to share, I can change it to specific people, anyone of the group, all of those things, and more options here where they might have to have a password. But I want to go back to edit again. I want to go back over here. Let me see where I am. Let me just go back. I have to go back to the other one. There we are. So in this one, when I was in styles, what I want you to see is when you're in styles, you have something called remix. And I was just trying to share with you that you would always probably want to duplicate it if you find a really good one. But right now we're just going to remix it. Now it looks completely different. It's all black and white with just a few flowers and things that are colored. I'll remix it again. All right, now it has blue highlights. Oh, it's going horizontally. I'll remix it again. Oh, now it has this texture stuff. That's kind of cool. So now this is what it looks like. Not like that as well. I'll remix it again. And you can just keep remixing it and remixing it as much as you want to, because it allows you, let me go back to that one and remix. I think it's better to see it on the front page. That looks nice with the green, and then you want to look through it and see it. So you can do this remix as much as you want. The only caveat I have is that you might want to make sure that you've saved a good one by duplicating it so you don't get lost in it. And remember, we did have the ability to customize fonts at the beginning if we want to. We had some flexibility there. So before I go any farther, any questions right now? Any questions about your sway right now? And the way you preview it is always this play at the top. So go to yours and play it right now and see what it looks like. Now this one's horizontal the way I remixed it, so it looks different this time because I did the remix. But if I go back, remember how I saved it? And if I go back, let's see, and where's summer one? Oh, there's summer. That's not the same one. I can find my, oh, it was seasons, wasn't it? Silly me. There's seasons. Okay, so here's the one this one I was in. Nope, go back again. If I go to my list, there's what I've been building. I can find it again, and I can keep adding to it, and I can add collaborators, and we can do all kinds of cool stuff. So I love this tool. I think it's awesome. And see, when you invite people, if you want to add students as a group, when I click that share, I don't have to be in my organization. It could be anybody, or it could be in the organization. I can say, can they view it? Can they edit it? And so if I wanted to add collaborators, I would say I would just put down that they can edit it. And then they can be collaborating with me on this way. So it's a good collaborative activity as well. So let's hear before I go farther, let's hear your voices if you want to open your mic or put in the chat. Yes, I know, the citations are cool, aren't they? Would you put in the chat or use your voices to tell us an idea you might have had? I know we have one with Wendy talking about children's literature. Anybody have an idea of things that they just thought about? So Wendy, I saw what you did. And I clicked your link, but it wants me to sign in. So you might check your sharing settings on that. Regions of North Carolina, I love that. And that's always a good thing to do, by the way, is to go to a private window, incognito or private window. When you're in a browser, doesn't matter what browser. If you go to File, New Incognito window or New Private window, then it doesn't recognize you're signed in. And use that link and test it to make sure the sharing settings are right. And that way, you know, when you share it, they'll be able to see it. But I love the genres, and students could use it for travel brochures. Now, you don't have to save it. It's saving for you. It's automatically doing it, Marilyn. Isn't that awesome? Book commercials. I mean, I just think it's so open-ended. There's 1,000 ways you can use it. And like I said, teachers use it to present lessons too. So lots of ways you can use this. So what I want to do right now, I'm going to take you back, and you can keep playing while I'm talking if you want to, because I'm going to go get the PowerPoint again. I just created a presentation on my reading life. This would make it so much cooler. Oh, you know what? How many prezzies have we seen and how many PowerPoints have we seen, and we love them both? But this is just a switch. You know, it's something different. It's one more tool to make things, you know, really show visual learning and media rich. The media richness is what will grab your kids. So they can do it really fast or they can do it slow. So this is just the rest of the slides in the PowerPoint you'll be getting. So you can see that you have cards, and we talked about the cards and how you can add things. And I'm going to show you a resource to even learn more, and you can always just do a search for it, a browser search, Sway tutorials, Sway video on YouTube, whatever. And there's lots of ways to learn things. And so this was one that they did for a presentation, which just had elevate student voice, and it popped in. That was just the topic they used as one of those topic starters, those quick starters. This is the sharing you can do, just showing that you can share all different ways where it can be viewed or edited by different people. And then this was the part I was telling you how you can make a video, a screen recording, not a video with you in it. I mean, you could use Screencastify or other tools. In fact, you can use Stream. And in Stream, you can create a screencast, a screen recording with your video too, with you as well. So if you do that and export it as a video, then you can put that into a Sway. So you could have you talking to your kids and showing them something. You can also, in PowerPoint, on the desktop app only, in Windows only, you can do a screen recording there as well. Oh, looky here, we have Jody showing one, as we made as a class, her Sway from her school. Oh, awesome, I want to look at that. And so you can put all kinds of screen recordings here too. So with distance learning and everything we're doing, it's a great opportunity to use this as one more place to consider. And you can publish PowerPoints to Stream. So if your kids, you know, did some kind of screen recording, they can publish it to Stream. If they did because they have access to it through their Office 365, if they create a video and publish to Stream, now they can put it in their Sway. And so here is Ms. Frank's Stream channel. So she actually has a Stream channel on different animals here for her 4th grade science class. And this is part of her habitat video lesson that she's done. And this is just an example of how you can do it that way. And then here's, you know, how you get the embed code. So if you get the code, it's just right here. You copy that code from wherever you are in Stream, or it would be in YouTube or anything like that. And then you just go embed it. Let me go back and show you. And so when you go there, you can embed it and you can choose all these options. And it's really easy to do. So you can use the embed codes. And that was in one of those, when you clicked on the plus on the card, when you were building and editing and you clicked on the plus on the card, then you had the ability to edit that. I mean, to add an embed code. This is the Microsoft Help site that has the support site that has it's linked here for you, and it has a video for you talking about Sway. It also, takes you through this whole getting started guide. So it's a good place for you to go if you're new to it. Some of you have been using it already, I see. So maybe you got some new ideas today too. So here it just goes through step by step, what all the different things are. And notice these are where you can get your images. I forgot to show you this, that when we put in our image for Creative Commons, we could have gone to Flickr, we could have gone to Picket, we could have gone to YouTube, we can pick all these different places. And then you preview it like we talked about, and this shows you the designs and how you share your Sway and all the different places, shared on different kinds of places like Flickr, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all those things. I don't think there's anything else really here that's we haven't already talked about. So all that's linked here for you when you get this slide. And that's pretty much, we kind of finished a little early. I'm going to look at the Sway we have here. Since we have a minute, let's look at Jody's Sway, because Jody has it right here where we can link to it. We are a small school. And I want to see what she's put up here. Look at this. Welcome to our school. And you have yours auto playing. I see that I didn't have to do anything. So it's auto playing. Cool. And now we can click through her stacked images. Look at that. How fun. Judy, you should have been teaching this class. Awesome. And she's done her introduction there. What do we like for fun in our school and community or province? And what will happen sometimes, I can play it again now. What will happen is you'll see the little arrows to go forward and backwards or up and down. Oh, there are Alberta maps. Jody, what an awesome one. Oh, good. Your awesome tech helped you. And you can change the settings. Like if she wanted to slow it down, she could slow it down, or she could also just make it where you click through it. That's an easy, click the, change your settings. Here's all her teachers. I didn't even think I was going to get to have fun watching. This is great, Jody. Let's see what else we have here. Their principal and our advisor. We're all learning from you. We're getting great ideas for going back to school. All right, Wendy, well, we're glad you were here. And actually, Wendy, before you go, let me show you your slide where you're going to get your slides. So there's your slides, Wendy, right there. You go to bit.ly/Q-slides.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So all of you write that down. I can put it in the chat for you too. I think that'll get you there. And then I have all the slides from all my presentations there. They're PDFs, so find the one you want and just download it, and you'll have them all right there. I'm glad you loved it, Loretta. I love it too. It's an awesome tool. And that's it, unless you have any questions. It's so easy to use that it's easy to teach. And that's the beauty of it. It's about the content. You don't have to get lost. It's once you figure out the cards, the kids will fly with it. I would go back and look at some of those examples that are embedded in the presentation as well. And if you have any questions, there's my email. I'll put it down here for you as well. So I didn't want it to go away. I'm working on, I'm typing on the wrong keyboard. That doesn't work well. There you go. There's my email too. So thank you so much for coming today. I'm going to stop the recording because I don't think we need it anymore. Maybe I can do it over here. No, I need to be in that one. No, I think I can do it here actually. Stop the recording. There we go.